Hi and welcome to today's video. My name is Lauren if you're new here, and today I'm sharing an update on our 6-month-old daughter Mia. This is an update after a neurosurgery appointment she had today. I was going to vlog today. I started a vlog today and then her appointment didn't go the way we expected it to go, so I figured it'd be easier for me to just give an update so I can share this with family and friends, with you guys, all in one place. But we have a daughter named Riley. She's 2 years old, and when she was born, she had a bump on her back called a lipoma. It's just like a mass. It was like, you know, this big on her back, a mass of like fat and tissue, and it was part of her tethered cord syndrome. It was a symptom that her spinal cord was tethered. So what that means is your spinal cord at the end is supposed to be like free-flowing, but the way that Riley's was that it was just attached to that lump, attached to the skin there. It's similar to spina bifida. Spina bifida is an open neural tube defect that when you have spina bifida, instead of having like that mass on their back, babies with spina bifida will have like open skin where their spinal cord is just like hanging there or something like that. But the way that Riley was, it was a closed neural tube defect, so that it was encased, it was enclosed, so she didn't need surgery right away when she was born. What we did with her is she had an MRI at 6 months. It showed she had the tethered cord. We did a kidney ultrasound, make sure her bladder function was okay, and then she had a surgery at 9 months to untether her cord. Everything with her has been pretty much perfect. She hit her gross motor skills on time. It really had no effect on her other than like having the surgery and going through that recovery. So that was our experience with Riley. The tethered cords are not normally genetic, so when we found out we were having Mia, didn't worry about it at all. I don't know if I thought about it at all, actually, like when I was pregnant with her. But when she was born, she had the same lump, so we knew right away what it was. We knew it was a tethered cord. You know, and the pediatrician at the hospital was like, well, we'll just see. And it's like, no, we know what's going on. We totally know. And I asked the neurosurgeon, so we see at our hospital, we see a neurosurgeon, and then we see like his nurse practitioner. That's the lady that we talk to the most often at his office. So she came in to see Mia when she was born. And we asked her, is this genetic? And she said, no, they've never, in our hospital, never seen two family members with the same issue. So we ended up getting referred over to genetics. We still have to do the blood test and stuff like that to see if it's a genetic thing. But it's like a genetic anomaly, so we just got super lucky that it happened twice. But now Mia is 6 months old, and we just had some updates to her situation. So when she was born, she had the same mass. She went in for an MRI. It showed the tethered cord. She had a kidney ultrasound. That was normal. And then her other issue, which is a symptom of the tethered cord, it's like a side effect, I suppose, is that she also has clubbed feet. So her feet, I think, were pointing inwards when they're supposed to point like just normal. So for her first month, she had to have a cast on the foot. One of her feet, the bone is just deformed, so she didn't have to have a cast on that foot, but she had to have a cast on her other foot. We did that for I think a month, and then they gave her a brace. And I've talked about the brace on my channel before. She had to wear that 24/7. She only got 1 hour a day brace free. And the last month we've been able to switch her, so now she only wears her brace when she's sleeping. So most of the day, whenever she's awake, she does not have a brace on, which has been fantastic. She can wiggle, she can move, all that good stuff. Sorry if my thoughts are a little bit jumbled. It's been a long day. So she has the club foot thing going on, and about a month ago we had to check in with a neurosurgeon because I had some concerns. That all turned out fine, but I was able to go in and talk to the nurse practitioner, get some more info from her about different things to look out for, concerns for Mia. And she had mentioned that Mia's feet don't move, and I never really noticed that because they've been in a cast and been in a brace pretty much since she was born. So I never noticed that they don't wiggle. You know, because they're always in a brace. It's hard for her to move her feet with a brace on. So we didn't really notice that her feet don't move, but her feet and her ankles don't move. That's been a thing since her birth. Her knees and hips move fine. They did check that a month ago when we went in. So that was something that's happened in the last month that we found out that was a little disheartening, to know that your baby's feet don't move. Like, that's hard. And so I assumed with the tethered cord surgery, because they do plan on doing a surgery for Mia as well, that it would be fixed, and that would be that. So Mia is 6 months now, so we had her scheduled for her kidney ultrasound. She did that last week. That came back clear. Everything is good with her kidneys. All that is good. Because I don't know why, but something about the spina bifida, tethered cord. She does not have spina bifida. Like I said, hers is a closed neural tube defect, but it's very similar to spina bifida, so I'll mention spina bifida, and that's not her diagnosis, but it's very closely related. So most of the information I have is kind of about spina bifida, even though that's not her diagnosis. One of the things that can happen is kids can have bladder and bowel issues. So Riley gets a kidney ultrasound every year, and then Mia will now get a kidney ultrasound every year. So that came back clear last week. And then on Friday she had in her MRI to just check in on things, check in on how things are. See if there's been any progression with her diagnosis, anything like that. We haven't noticed anything physically happening to her. We were told at the last appointment a month ago to make sure her knees and hips are still moving fine. If that changed, let them know right away, all that kind of stuff. But all that's been pretty good. So we went to the MRI, and we knew going forward that Mia's case is more complicated than Riley's, just because of the club feet. Just her symptoms are more severe. So we knew things were going to be harder. But I still expected today's appointment to be here's the results of the MRI. This is what we're going to do moving forward. That's all. I expected to just talk about surgery and when that would be. But instead, we went in, the nurse practitioner showed me the MRI. I got to see the images, which was kind of cool because I didn't get to see that with Riley. Nathaniel had taken her to that appointment. So I got to see it this time. I got to see the images. And comparing her images as a newborn to a 6-month-old, she has fluid building up in her spinal cord. There's 2 different patches of fluid. I'm not sure exactly what that means. I don't know if that means things might progress faster, anything like that. I think there is some concern about that fluid, but specifically why, I'm not sure. I didn't ask. Maybe I should have, but I didn't. All I know is that once the neurosurgeon, he hasn't had the chance to look at her MRI yet, but once he does, he will make a recommendation for surgery. And the vibe I was getting from the nurse practitioner, she didn't say this or anything, is that I don't think we'll be going past 9 months without surgery. Riley's was around 9 or 10 months, and it didn't seem like such a rush. But as the nurse told me today, with Mia, we're kind of riding on the razor's edge. That was her wording. So I think it doesn't sound like we'll be delaying surgery for any reason. I think she said to prepare for surgery in the next few months. So I'm anticipating by early August, mid-August, we will be having the surgery for sure, if not sooner. I think they might potentially move up her surgery, given the severity of the issues in the fluid building, because I don't think they want to risk anything else happening to her. So that's that. I don't know if I'm explaining things well. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. I don't know a lot, but I would love to help educate other moms who might be going through this. So if you have questions or just want to know more about Mia, feel free to ask, especially our family and friends. Message me. I might not respond quickly, but I'll try to. So that was kind of the update I was given on her surgery. I'm just going to wait to hear back after she talks to the neurosurgeon, and then we'll kind of know from there what the plan is. And we'll have surgery in the next 2 months. I'd say by sometime this summer we'll be having surgery. And hers will be more complicated, I think, than Riley's, but I won't know those details until her pre-op appointment, which won't be till the week before her surgery or whatever, a couple weeks before. And I have no idea when that will be. After we discussed the MRI, I had some questions about her feet since the last appointment, just how they don't move. And I was just curious to know, like, after the surgery, will that be fixed? Because I assumed that that would be the case. The nurse practitioner said no. So her feet not being able to move is a permanent thing. She said whatever defects she has now will just be like that forever. The point of the surgery is to prevent further defects. So it's to prevent her knees and her hips from like not working anymore. It's to protect her bladder and her bowels. Like, it's to protect all that stuff. The things that are working, we do the surgery to protect those things. So her feet will not be fixed by the surgery. I was expecting that would be the case. So that was hard to hear that, I guess. And so my next question was, well, if she can't feel her or move her feet, can she feel them? Does she have sensation in her feet? And so the nurse was like, that's a good question. She's a baby, so we can't, she can't communicate that with us. So the nurse like pinched her toe, like pinched underneath her feet, like was doing some different like tests, I guess, on her toes and her feet, and she didn't respond at all. So it seems pretty clear that she's lost some sensation in her feet as well. I think that has to do with like nerve damage. I was reading a little bit about it, like how it relates to spina bifida, and I think it's like a similar case where she just has a loss of sensation. She kind of pinched up her legs a little bit, and I don't think she had sensation in her legs either. I think that's a little bit harder to tell because she can like kick her knees, like move her knees and kick her legs around. I think a lot of this we're not going to know till she's a little bit older. We're not going to have all the answers right now. Right now we actually have a lot more questions than we have answers. But yeah, she doesn't have sensation in her feet. So the nurse kind of brought up what that means as far as walking. And from what I understand, what she explained to me and what I've like kind of read online when I got home a little bit, is that not necessarily that she won't be able to walk, but I think she's going to need some support walking. The nurse practitioner mentioned how there's walkers. If she has knee and hip movement, there's walkers she can use. As she gets older, there's the potential need for a wheelchair, because as she gets older and bigger, there's more weight. She's bigger, she's heavier. There's more weight for her legs to carry, and she doesn't have that feeling in her legs. She can't really, right now, when you try to push on her feet, put pressure on her feet, it's just weak. There's just nothing going on there. So as she can't hold her own weight now. Some babies at this age, they want to stand up, they want to practice standing when you're holding them, and she can't do that. She can't put any pressure on her feet. So as she gets older, that'll get harder. So that was kind of the big thing that we had to swallow today, was the potential in the future for braces, walkers, a wheelchair. We've kind of just been like, I guess, grieving our expectations for her childhood. And this is worst case scenario, but we know at this point she cannot move her feet and she has no sensation in her feet, and surgery will not be the answer to that. So this is like a likelihood that she will need support walking, and that's fine. It is what it is. She's gonna have love and support from us and our family and friends and our church and everywhere. Like, she's got lots of love and support, so I'm not worried about her. She's a happy girl, and we're gonna make the most of it, and we're not gonna let it drag her down. We're not gonna let it affect anything she wants to do. I mean, obviously there are some things like sports. We'll have to look into how she can maybe participate in that if she wants to, as someone who might have a disability or a special need in that area. So yeah, what I was reading is that, she might be able to walk independently, but as she gets older, that mobility goes down, and she'll most likely need support when walking. So that's kind of just the update. Is we found that out, and that's difficult, but We are getting her started in physical therapy. The nurse practitioner did ask about that. Part of Mia's journey and treatment is that we communicate with a spina bifida clinic. We live in Northern California, a few hours away from the Bay Area, and there is a spina bifida clinic in the Bay Area. We actually have an appointment there mid-October when she's closer. Her birthday is mid-October, so I think we have an appointment there like the week before her birthday, and we'll go see all the specialists in one place. We'll be at the clinic for a few hours, and I'm in constant communication with them. So the nurse coordinator I talk to, she answers any questions I have. She lets me know what Mia needs. She's the one who told me that we're ready for the kidney ultrasound. She ordered that for me. She's kind of my support person who I can go to for questions, just kind of the all-encompassing everything to do with Mia. Tethered cord stuff, feet stuff, everything. So I'm in constant communication with her. I'm sure I'm going to talk to her in the next week or so, and I have questions for her, and I'll probably give an update after I talk to her. But one of the things she's been pushing lately is the physical therapy, so she sent our information into our county office of education, and got that started for us, and she keeps checking with me to make sure that that process is going well, because if it's not, then she'll set us up through the hospital, through her insurance, but she wants me to go through the county. I think just because when Mia, I don't know, when she's school age and stuff, the county will continue to accommodate her needs and us, so I think it's just easier, I don't know, to get started with them. I know it's free, they come to your home. So we do have an evaluation for her next week for physical therapy. They had a spring break, so it kind of got delayed a couple weeks. But they'll be coming next week. They're doing a physical therapy evaluation. And she already had one evaluation. She had an overall evaluation of social emotional, I think like occupational, like just like every developmental area. Just like an overarching thing. And then if she needed a specialized area of work, they send in that kind of therapist to come check her out. So physical therapy is our main concern. So a physical therapist is coming out next week, and then once she's done with her evaluation, another her like coordinator, I suppose, I think that's what she is, or service coordinator, I think that's what it is, yeah, service coordinator. Her service coordinator will come once that evaluation is done. Just, it's all at our house, so she's coming to our house, and we are making up our family plan for services. I think probably just signing paperwork, discussing what services she needs, probably how often she'll have the physical therapy, all that kind of stuff. So we will be getting her physical therapy through the county, so we'll see how that will help. I'll probably ask the physical therapist, and I'll ask the spina bifida clinic how physical therapy will play a role, and if that will help improve her chances of walking independently, because obviously that's ultimately what we want. But as the nurse practitioner told me today, she said, like, you know, it's not a guarantee that she's gonna have issues walking. Like, nothing about this is guaranteed. It's just all over the place. But, you know, it's kind of better to prepare for the worst, I suppose. Like, I would rather be prepared for Mia to be in a wheelchair and not walk than be completely caught off guard. And she's young. She's 6 months old. So we have time to work on this, build up her muscles, and kind of figure out where things are going to go. In the meantime, we're going to keep praying about it. Our friends and family are going to be praying about it. Our chaplains at church, Nathaniel called them. So we're just going to keep praying that whatever God wants to do happens, you know. If she's healed, if she's not, you know, it is what it is. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. Like I said, we're going to love her no matter what. We're not going to let it bring her down. We'll just go on whatever journey God has for us. And just trust that it's going to be fine. I mean, she's still our baby and we still love her so much. It's just going to be a challenge to kind of get used to that. And right now it's a challenge just to have more questions than we have answers. I don't know when we're going to know. Because she is only a baby, so, you know, will she need a wheelchair when she's 5? Will it not be till she's 30? You know, those are just the unknowns right now. Will she not need one at all? That's obviously ideal. But yeah, there's a lot of things up in the air. That's the unfortunate thing about her diagnosis, is that day by day it changes. You know, the hope is that when she has surgery, it'll stop any progression and things will be normal. There is a chance of her cord retethering in the future, but that's something we're going to worry about in the future and just, you know, pray against. And yeah, that's kind of the update on that. If you stuck around this long, thanks for watching. That's what we've been going through the last couple weeks, just getting her set up with early intervention. We're doing some stuff with Riley for early intervention as well, which I'll probably just share in a different video, a different vlog. She's just got some like speech stuff, which honestly I think a lot of it probably has to do with the pandemic, like being a pandemic baby, pandemic toddler. I think once we're out and about in the world a little bit more than we are now, those things will improve. Her speech has already been improving the last couple weeks. She's got some new words and stuff. But we are getting her set up with early intervention as well, so it has been a busy month. I had so many appointments this month between the two of them. I couldn't even keep it straight. The spina bifida clinic called me, and I told them someone was coming out to evaluate Mia, and then I realized that that evaluation was for Riley, and I was like, oh, well, my bad. And then they ended up coming out that same week anyway to evaluate Mia, and so it was fine. But it's just, my brain has been all over the place. I've got so many calendars and planners now to try to keep track of everything, and now it's probably going to slow down. Now that the evaluation process is over for both of them, I think it'll slow down a little bit and we'll get in a good routine of whatever weekly appointments they need. I'm assuming the physical therapy will probably be weekly. I know Riley, when she does start speech therapy, that will be weekly. So we've got a lot going on. I know it's all going to work out. It's all going to be fine. We're going to adapt, get used to it. But I just want to give an update here that I'm going to share so we don't have to explain it 15,000 times. That's, I think, one of the hard things too with everything going on between both girls, is just explaining it a bunch of times and answering questions. But like I said, if you have questions, message me. It's fine. I might not be quick getting back to you, but I will try my best. But if you want more updates on the girls, see what we're up to, I do post on YouTube most often, so subscribe. Yeah, if you like this video, subscribe. If you want to see more of our life, subscribe. And that's all. Yeah, that's gonna be it. So I will see you next time, hopefully for a vlog, hopefully for something more fun. Yeah. Bye.